What's up, guys? Of course my camera is gonna run out on me 5 seconds before I go live. That will be way too simple if my camera was working. Hold on. If I'm doing this... Nope. Wow. Well, is this working? Okay, the console view is working. It's just my iPhone. Because, yeah, I had to use my iPhone today. Because I sold one of my camera. And selling some things means upgrade. So, soon, I will have an upgrade. If I can make the damn thing work. OBS camera sometimes. It's not like it's a free app. Oh, here we go. Here's my big face that you guys didn't really miss. I can't believe I made it. Good morning, Rolf. Good morning, Ivan. As you can see behind me, this place is a mess. And I'm gonna explain you why. We're currently doing major renovation on the house. This wall right there, on the other side, which is usually full of hurt until like that high, until the bottom of the window there, is currently open because we closed a door in the basement that was right there. Now we fill it with concrete, and as we speak, there's a big hole on the other side of that wall. But now that door was in my bedroom, so this is why you got my bed behind me, because that room has to be empty because we're filling like 1 meter per 2 meter of concrete in that room. So the whole place is upside down. And just for fun, this is a really good story that's gonna lead to something that's gonna lead to this that you can see right now. I'll fill you guys up. I decided to buy storage for my video editing work. I'm doing video editing now, and I didn't know. And I went to a guy that I know, one of those like backdoor guys that resell old server. I'm gonna try to make this story quick. He sold me something that is an old video server that's not working. It's a SAS drive. It's a storage attached to a system box with 12 drive in it. It's not working. I had to change that for server, but I spent around 24 hours trying to make this thing work. Went back to the guy an hour away from my house. Come back, and the guy's full of crap. He just sell me stuff. He just give me stuff and feed me stuff and say, oh, it will work if you're just doing this. It will work if you're just doing this. But the guy has no idea how that thing works. So I end up with a server, an old IBM server with a 6-core Xeon processor. Last generation. It's not in use. It's the generation that the big server are just rolling out. But for my home, 12 terabyte of storage plus some drive that I have, do a 16. I got something like 20 terabyte of storage in a server, and now I can try to make this thing with a software called FreeNAS. It just take a computer and turn it into a storage attached to your network, NAS, so network attached storage. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I'm I'm doing Cat 6, Cat 5, because Cat 6 is faster speed for network. Don't use Cat 6 on Behringer Wing, but use it for your network. And I also discovered that fiber adapters don't work on Mac OS. And I've just been, like, with the renovation and that, I've just been over my head. Sorry, guys. I've just been over my head with stuff and doing gigs. Last Sunday, I did a 6-hour drive, and 6 hour there, 6 hour back drive to go to a gig. I finally did a gig. I got a vlog coming about that really soon. As soon as I get the okay from the production that I can release it. I just finished edit that yesterday because I tried to squeeze in some video edit into that. I'm sorry I'm not doing enough stuff on the wing. My life is just crazy, and I'm pretty much not working, so. Whew. Good morning. Okay, I need to acknowledge this. Herman, what's up, man? Welcome. It's good to have you back. You missed 2 shows in a row. I'm gonna remember you, Dad, for your whole life. Just try Raspberry Pi to power the NAS. Honestly, I have a couple of Raspberry Pi laying around because I used those for LED control on a show. Well, I need to show you guys this one day. I've built a mic stand with built-in LED that are addressable. Nothing to do. It's really far from what I know, but gonna do that. One day I'm gonna show you that stuff. But yeah, the Pi thing, cool, but not as powerful as I need to edit video from a server, because this is what I need now. I'm currently running 2 projects. Well, I'm running a video clip that I shot for a choir of individuals. Everybody shot individual shot, plus we did some group stuff. But anyway, I'm doing a full montage and edit of 24 4K. It's 24 4K feed that I'm editing into a single video. And that thing is just like hard for my computer and my storage. I have a 4 terabyte SSD drive in my computer, and it's just loaded, and I got 2 projects on it. And people ask me to send out quotes for new projects. So I don't want to have a storage problem and losing stuff. So this is why I went with the NAS. And man, if I knew what I was getting into, trust me, I would not have done that way. Anyway, this is not where I want to go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wing live stream. Apparently, I'm just rambling about my life now. Hi, Ashil. How's it going? Technology. I'm just gonna put it out that way. Technology, it's a learning curve. Right now, I'm learning new stuff. I'm learning network. Without realizing it, I now have to do network. Because knowing sound, knowing how to video edit is not enough. Now I have to learn fiber, copper, doing my own Cat 5, running my own network, running my own server stuff. Man, all I wanted to do was to do video. Actually, it started way back as I would like to do sounds for Ben. And now, because of that, and because of stuff happening, yeah, I'm getting so far. I'm getting really far enough that Ivan have to ask questions. Sure, Ivan. You have any question? I actually have a couple questions that came in this week. If I can load a Facebook page while I'm talking to you. I hope the stream is alright, guys, because I'm lagging like hardcore here. Okay, I got a question on Facebook from Erwin. He asked me, is there a way to cut wing rec recording? When he's doing live stream mixing, he would like to cut his recording. I think there is a way. If you guys try to follow me here, we're gonna go. Oh, microphone. Microphone is not ideal yet. Need to figure out that. And my console is out of focus. Now I even have to focus my console. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna answer the first question that I have first, and then I'm gonna move on to that. I think, and you guys can help me with this one. I wish we had Rob with us. He would tell me right away. But some of you guys who are pro on the SD card, I think sorry, I'm trying to read the chat. I'm gonna show you guys after that what's up with this. Okay. When you record a session, you can put some marker in there, and marker will cut down the audio to answer Ivan's question. When you record stuff, I can't do it because I don't have anything plugged in. Oh, you know what? I can record my microphone. That's gonna work. Okay, how can I do it? It's been a long time. Okay. If I go here and I close this, if I'm doing record, max capacity of the SD card reach. Huh. Okay. If I try 31 minute. I'm sure it's more than 31 minute. Okay, well, it's not working. I don't have any SD card right now. I'm sorry, but I'm sure there's a way with the marker to just cut the track when you record. I remember seeing it somewhere. So please, Erwin, you have to believe me on this. I hope I can help you, but there is a way. Look at the screen here. Look at that screen here. That screen here. You will see it. It will pop up. Use your eye, and you'll see it. On latest update, channel 31 is SIP. Yeah, I saw that with the last update. I didn't look any further into it, Ivan. I don't know. I got it. I got it on the console itself. Sorry, I'm gonna go to home here. I tried to set it up on the console itself, but I didn't look any further into it before, because you guys are really good to tell me when I'm wrong. I don't want to get into false explanations, so I'm just gonna say it's there. I need to figure it out. I didn't yet. Maybe I should do a video on that. This should be on the list of stuff to do a video on that. But honestly, I didn't get the old ID because I was just I don't know. I was just happy with soloing the stuff before. Maybe it's gonna open my mind and change everything. But so far, I must say no. I didn't venture into that stuff. Hanuman, 2 question. Did you ever tell us how you get into live sound? No, but I will after I've read your question about why are your meter clipping all the time. Okay, I can explain this one easily. You can see my meter clipping all the time, but actually this is not clipping. A lot of people get that confused because I don't want to say get that wrong. The clip light will turn on as soon as you reach over -1 dB. Right now, you don't hear any audible distortion, don't you? I hope you don't hear any audible distortion when I'm speaking. It's because I'm gonna try to. Okay, I got my fader, my master fader here, which is feeding my stream, sending out to 0 dB. And you can't see it, but on my OBS session, I'm running my send level to -0.3. -0.3 is the clipping point of a CD. Because we are digital, there is no way that the algorithm or the signal chain can amplify stuff or change. So the light goes on, but I'm not sending any distortion because I'm sending out a -3. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Where's my mastering chain? My mastering chain is missing. Okay. Now. Okay. Now I'm gonna make. We're gonna see that. Okay, I thought I had something wrong, but usually what I do. Wow, this thing is loud. Okay, it's because I just sent too loud now. Okay, let me get my stuff together, guys. Okay. Hey. I'm gonna get this. It's gonna happen. Hold on. Maybe we will have some clipping, but I don't think so. Okay, it's not. Just make sure, guys. Tell me that you don't have any audible distortion. Because I'm using 2 safety net here, and I'm gonna explain the signal chain just as soon as I got this right. Okay, now this is what I usually use as a signal chain. I don't know why, maybe I changed the show or I recalled something else, but I'm just gonna get my setting right here. Yeah, threshold right there. Yeah. Okay, good. This is what I usually use as a signal chain. And I can give a little bit more mic. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Maybe I'm missing a little bit of volume here. Hey. 1, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, 1, 2. Okay, we're getting there. Usually it's not clipping, but you just made me realize something that I thought I was wrong. I thought the clip light was going on after 1 dB, but apparently when clipping is on, that means I'm reaching 0. But you need to what I understand out of this is even if I'm sending out clipping, well, there's 2 things. Hold on. Let's talk analog for a second. If I were to send out something like this out to a PA, I would not be clipping. Even if the red light goes on, it's not clipping because the output of the console have a buffer of 3 or 6 dB. I don't remember. So I can clip the console and I'm not clipping the converter of the output. Now, if we talk about the signal that I send into OBS, which is my streaming software, I send that over a USB, and that is not that doesn't have any headroom there. So what I send 0 dB is 0 dB. I thought it was okay to clip because I send at minus 0.3 dB, which is really close to 0, but as soon as you clip 0, you're in trouble. It could be at minus 0.1, and it's not going to give you any audible distortion. You can have a really squashed signal like I'm using right now. I'm using it's a mastered signal. I'm using the compressor to compress what I'm doing. Maybe even the threshold is a little bit high. I'm using a compressor that's sending out into a limiter, and they both work, and they reducing the peak of what I'm sending and spit that out. Because my master is at 0, my output is at 0, I can get really, really close from clipping, but never get there. So, okay, that's good. Oh, it's because my master was recall safe. You guys probably remember an episode that I did about recall safe. I probably left them there, and when I reload my show file, it didn't do anything. It didn't overwrite. It did its job. Okay. We're gonna get there. Okay, I got my mastering chain back, or at least what I usually use on my mastering chain for me to send out signal to OBS. It's back. I explained everything, I explained that, and now I need to answer Herman's first question, which, how do I get into live sound? Yeah, I'm reading your comment live, Herman. Yes, the SSL come into a limiter. It's a classic change. I mean, this is what most records were using, and this is what I feel sounds good to the. I don't know why they work really well together. Maybe because the SSL is a smooth compressor. It's not really aggressive, so it just smooths thing out, and then you send it into a limiter. That way you got a softer signal to limit, and it's good. Okay, now back to how I get into live sound. I'm pretty sure I never explained that before. I can come back here. You guys can see my mess behind me and the bad image quality of my iPhone right there. By the way, if you see a boatload of plasters, really quick stories. And okay, I'm going to finish two things. I'm going to finish the first story. After I did a lot of back and forth with the guy, changing out stuff, server, I bought him, because this is how I know the guy. He get lots. He buy lots on eBay and on auction, and he just resell them on the pieces, and this is how he make money. And sometimes he get like cool stuff like this. I bought a pair of shotgun microphone, Ramza. For those of you who remember Ramza, those are branded as Panasonic or Ramza by the Panasonic or Panasonic by Ramza. You can see the, I'm just going to try not to show the logo here, but anyway, it's Panasonic by Ramza. And I got those for fairly cheap, so bought a pair of those mic, and I've basically run a couple flight of stairs with a server in my hand, and I just cut myself because those servers are not really made to be handled. They're not user friendly, and I cut myself against the lid, like really small cuts, but you know, kind of like paper cut, but with server top plate. So the edge of those things just cut my finger there, and these two, I'm just slide up. So this is why I have a boatload of plaster. That's it. Okay. 25 minutes in, and I still didn't tell my story. Sorry, I'm gonna get there. I feel bad. How do I get into live sound? I was 15 years old. This is starting with a really sad story. And I've lost a friend of mine. He passed away because of heart disease. He was not lucky. He had a bad flu that made him sick. He had water on his lungs, and it built up problem over problem, and after a couple months, he sadly passed away. I was 15-ish. It's been a long time, I don't remember. But I was 15-ish, and I decided to raise some fun doing some shows with Ben because I like music. He liked music. I was playing guitar with him. He was my drummer back then. This is also why I got this tattoo. So that way my drummer friend is with me. I know I don't play drum. I'm not really good at playing drum, even if I have one behind me. But anyway, I started to organize show, and this is how I start to deal with people. And at some point, my sound guy just didn't show up, and I was helping him a little bit before, and he didn't show up. He said, "Oh, why don't you just do it?" And I jumped behind the board, and that was the last time I hired him. I jumped behind the board when I was 15. And at the same time, when it was, how do you say it in English? It was a profit-free showroom where it was it's sponsored by the city and the government and everything, so the whole place is running, and they changed out their PA like many years ago, and they have those old Altec A7 and Yamaha PM 700. This is like really old stuff. Like, it was outdated in 2005, like by a lot. And they just had that in the basement, and they said, "Oh, you got a band and you know how to work the soundboard there." So they just give me a so freaking heavy BGW power amp with two A7, and the A7 were handmade, plywood handmade, and you had to stack horns like 24 inches horn on top of these to have high frequencies, because it was just a 15-inch GBL into a bass port with you were physically stacking a horn on top of it. Because I had the band, they gave me that thing, and I started to play around with it, like doing some stuff, recording with the PM 700. It's crazy. I did an album for a bunch of my friends with that thing, going 1/4 inch out of the console to mono, like to RCA adapter into a 1/8 jack in the back of my computer, a tower computer that I bring into the basement of the drummer, where we hang some clothes around to dead the room, and we rent out some mic because I didn't have any microphone. We rent out some microphone. I remember a D112 57 for the snare, and no, it was the EV, the small EV, the weird looking one, the weird looking EV one, I would say the 460 something, I don't remember. You know, those small EV microphone, and for overhead, I used the 421 pointing at the sky, because that's what the guy had. It was a small renting shop, like really, really small, next to where we were. So the guy gave me that. Like, he did the same mistake like everybody does. You know, he gave me the 421, and it looks like a vocal microphone, and he just gave me that. So I positioned that until it sounded fine in the room, and I recorded the drum pre-EQ'd on the console, main out into the computer. Did the same thing for guitar, bass, and we tracked the vocal in the shed of the guy because his mother was tired to having us in the basement. So we set up something like curtain in a shed next to the lawnmower and recorded that, and I mixed that with no idea what I'm doing. It was I oversold myself on that recording. And after that, I started to, being interested into sound, but it's not until I was at school. I was, by the way, don't do that, but I quit high school. The EV 468. Yes, that's right, Ivan. But okay. I started I was at school. I was not going anywhere. It was not for me. I was up until 4 in the morning and waking up at noon every day. So I have the fit for the job naturally. So one of the teachers tell me, you like sound, you like to be up until 4 in the morning. Why don't you go study sound? Like kick your butt for a year or two and go study sound, and you will have a job into that. And I was like, that could be a job? I could make a living out of this? I was 19 when that happened. On my 20th birthday, the day of my 20th birthday, I did an interview for a small government support school where people were like dropouts. I was fitting the mold there. I was a high school dropout, and to be able to work and be a helpful member of society, government help you to get back on track and give out money to those school. And being, it doesn't take that much to push cases. And it's basically a live sound thing that they're doing, but they don't go that deep into sound and lighting. But once you get out of that school, you're good enough to set a stage up, set a stage line, hang some lights, and plug in a dimmer without killing yourself, and rig up a PA. You could be you could be a good audio guy and make a living out of that if you like to work. That's an option. Anyway, I went there, knew my stuff around sound. I did, there's some tests. I just destroyed everything test-wise because I was good at sound, and I had good teacher that gave me as much as I could feed on when I was 20, and those guys start to bring me on some shows. And one of my teacher was the technical director of the Montreal Jazz Festival that summer. It's an annual contract, but he did this for a couple of years, and that year he was technical director for the Montreal Jazz Fest indoors event of all the big venues in Montreal that participate in the Jazz Fest. And he just said, okay, well, you need to do something this summer, because the summer was in the summer we usually go out to do show. How do you call that? Internship. You need to do some internship. So I was intern at the Montreal Jazz Fest. I was right next to his office, and I was over my head. I was not getting half of the stuff that was going on, dealing with tour bus of artists and dealing with the gear. But I did a bit of office there. Office is not really for me, and they realized that really soon. Was when they sent me out to do copy and grab some paper, it was like, okay, yeah, this is not what I signed up for, pretty much. So they sent me out as a runner. As a runner, I was fixing out, I was playing around with gear that the Montreal Jazz Fest need to swap around venue. And they need to have people that know what they're doing, do that really quick and be precise on demand for the artists. So they have a storage supply of punctual gear that switch from around every day. So I've learned really quick what Avalon compressor were, really good quality active DI, those how do you call them? Those Avalon DI too. And this is the kind of stuff that switch, per artist. So I ended up in the first summer being good at that, and did find my way. I did my internship on the Jazz Fest. After that, we have the Francophonie, which is the French festival, to celebrate French-speaking people. Here, it's a week-long too. I was supposed to be internship. They gave me a job at the Montreal Spectrum. It's closed now. It's closed. Actually, I did the last run of show there in 2007. I was supposed to be internship. They just hired me there. I was doing everything on stage. I was setting up stage. I was doing backline. I was doing all that stuff. And this is keep in mind, this is in the break between my two part of school. So I did some internship there. They gave me a job at the Spectrum, or the team that was running the Spectrum, but there was no way. The money was not that good, and there's no way I'm not going to finish school, sound stuff that I like. So I had to quit that, go back to school, finish my 1 year intensive sound school there. And I graduated in October of 2007, I think. And since then, I never looked back. I graduated, find job in corporate event shop, bars, doing live sound in bars for band. I did end up in a really cool bar a year and a half after that. A cool bar that upgraded the system too much for the local guy. Keep in mind, it's a bar. When they rebuilt the place that burned down, don't ask why. The guy heard about good PA called L Acoustic. You guys probably know L Acoustic. And with that, it was not a line array. It was NX12, NX or NX12. No, NX12 are the RCF, 12 NX. All that in delay, but those are really good sounding box. So I had 8 of those in the room with the single 18 subs from L Acoustic. And I had monitors. I had 6 monitors there. So I had, pretty decent stuff to work with. Well, I could mix in that bar. And being able to get good result because I had the gear to do so, even if it was a bar. Can you guys tell me if it's okay? I'm keep on getting like really, really bad internet dropout. Just tell me if it's okay. Anyway, so yeah, I end up in that bar a couple of years after, and it's in that bar that I first met Simon Morin, and one of the artists that I'm still working with today. I've been knowing him since 2009, so that will be 12 years, and I've been working with him full time as a sound guy since 2012, and for the last couple of years, after I left the corporate event stuff, because there's no way I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. to do sound on a podium and just fall face first on a console. I seriously did that. I've already fallen asleep on a console many times. Corporate event. Okay, thank you guys. So yeah, since before COVID, I was only doing mixing bands all the time, festivals, working for a small AV shop in Montreal, who was giving me week stuff. So in the week, we were doing all the auditorium of a school board. 12. It's a 12 school, but we only had 6 of these school who were doing events. But it's most of the time weeknights, weekdays. Sometimes, here and there on Sunday and Saturday. But I was mixing that with my 40 shows of band a year, and I was making a good living out of that. Well, enough to pay the bill, and at some point have enough money left to buy me an X32 first, then an M232R, then a wing. So I'm also doing calls for everybody who calls me. I'm doing IATSE calls on festival here for everything you see at the Parc Jean Drapeau in Montreal. Sometimes I'm the local sound guy there. So this is how I get into sound. Basically, to make it short, When I was 15, my sound guy didn't show up and was costing too much, so I just push him out of the board, and here I am in 2021 doing shows and stuff like that. I'm not doing anything major. I'm not doing arena tour and stuff or I'm done. And I'm not interested anymore. I used to be when I was a kid, when I was 25. But now that I'm closer to 35, I'm gonna turn 35 this winter. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I can go out, do shows for a living, not for a massive amount of people. I did show for 35,000 people, but it doesn't matter to me now, as long as if there's 20 people. If there's 20 people in the room that enjoy a band, and I can make them happy, and I can make the band happy, make the people listening to it happy, I'm happy too. This is my job. Done deal. I can cash my paycheck and feeling happy about it. And this is what I do. Freelancing sound guy. Yeah, this is what I am. A freelancing sound guy. And I've been doing that for too long. Yeah, I'm gonna say 15 years, even if that's not true, because I started when I was professionally at 20, but the first band that I mixed I was 15. So, for fun, 20 year, professionally 15, roughly. And I'm curious about you guys. I know a lot of people here are church guy. I explained that last week, but it's not. It's surprising for me because, like I said, we don't have church with bands here. That would be way too fun. Okay, another question that I remember that I have, and I will point this out. Is it possible to name output? Somebody last week asked me that, and I think it's possible. I just need to check that out because I cannot answer that without knowing. I think it is. Hold on. Let me get into the console view first before I forget, because sometimes even myself, I rewatch those stream from time to time and I just like, Okay. Now I got that right. Let's take a look at this. How can you Sorry guys, it's gonna sound like really bad, but I need to turn that microphone so you can hear me. Can you name output? I believe there's a way to do it. We're gonna find it out. Okay. There's a way to name bus for sure. But to name output, like you can name your input into AS50. No, not even close to there. Okay. Channel output. If I click on this, I have no way to name that. But if I go on sources, I guess I can name icons, tag, but there is no way to name output. Local in, because that's just input. There is no way to name the output. You can name a bus physically on the console. You can like press something, call it a bus and patch it somewhere. You can name input, but you cannot name output. That's interesting. That's going to go into the suggestion box. I need to do that. This is really interesting. I wish I could name output. Let's say... Hold on. Let's say that I have a stage box. If I change the name... No, okay. If I connect a wing to another network of AES-50, because I'm going to call it a network if I plug a couple of them together and I can name the AES source. If I could... I wish I could name something else as an output to say front of house output on, you know, my stage box A, or my DL251A output 24. Well, not 24. These one, only the 231 half 24 output. But yeah, still, this is something that I've done before. I've used output 23 and 24 for my from my split snake, or my split that I was using with the 231, and I wanted the guy to set up not 15 and 16, but to set up 23 and 24 as his output. So if I can name it, because you can name an input on AES-50, and you guys can help me with this one, but if you name it there, it will be visible from all the consoles. I think that will do. Interesting. Headman, I saw your comment on the MXU wing video. Thank you, man. They're doing a great job over there. It just... I cannot agree... Okay. I'm gonna go with the reaction of their reaction video. I like the console. They find it confusing. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. They don't like it. Fine. You don't like our console? Sell it to me. I'll take it off your hand for cheap. Sorry, Hermana, I feel out of context here. I thought it would be great if you could do something like that. Take any multi-track session and mix it live. Well, actually, you can. This is what I'm doing here. If I'm just pressing play on this one and I didn't turn off my music, but I can do it. Hold on. I can turn that one off and grab my DCA and just mix. Whoa. You guys remember that one? It's been a long time. Oh, my kick is pan. My snare pan too? Toms are fine. Okay. I'm just gonna go with that for fun. It's been a long time since I've heard that one, and I listened to it so much. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that as a background music. From Ivan, give me an example. Main, then home, then name tag. Okay. I don't know much about main tag, so maybe you can teach me something. Home tags. If I go add tags and I'm call this main tests. Oh, I cannot. This is a tag, and if I go into output, AES-50A, just want to make sure that this is not cutting my feed to the live stream. Okay. I'm not sure to get what you mean here, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, it's in the tags. Oh, that's the input. That's the input. I can name the input. I can rename the input, no problem. It's just that I can't. You can't name the output. Yeah, Headman also don't agree. Love the console. Yeah, if you like it, you like it. It's fine. Toms, hey! Love the video. Ask about renaming the output in the comment. Switch on at the right time. Yes, you do, my friend. I'm currently working on that. Yeah, so far, there's a way. Well, you can't really name the output, but if you name the bus that output is assigned to, it will work. No, sorry, Irman, I'm gonna keep this one because I don't have any other session from my friend that is copyright free. And as much as I don't make any money with YouTube, one day I hope I will, and I don't want to have anything to do with copyright stuff or demonetization at all. So, sorry, guys. Yeah, hearing this track feel like the winter COVID lockdown again. Yeah, sorry. Okay, Ivan, just name main, then home, then name. Okay. So, hold on. If I go just main, and name there. Okay. We'll call it, I'll call this test 1. Okay. If I go take a look at the routing, output. Okay, well, it's like, yeah, okay, this is like if I was to rename. Yeah, name, it's like naming the bus, pretty much. But okay, I like that, because if I change, hold on. Oh no, it's just like if I were to name my bus, it's the same thing. I thought I was renaming the main left and right, but no. What I can see here, it says test 1 on my main, because my boat main can only have one name. So test 1, main 1, left and right. Okay, well, it's a workaround. Probably a nerdy week request. Hold on, let me read that. Tom's. Probably a nerdy request. Maybe not useful to everyone, but in my home studio, it will be useful to know what specific output are connected to my vSynth. Yeah, I get it. I get why you want that. It's also like, I can see use for this. I could, well, the other way around, I could see use if I could name my monitor. Let's say that I'm running 12 monitor on a festival, or 16 monitor with this on a festival, and I only want to grab certain one, or having extra output and change my bus. Let's say that I have 24 out with in-air assigned to something and monitor assigned to something, and I want to switch them quickly. I have to remember to assign, bus to a new output if I want to do that. So if I want to change my mix in quickly and build I want to build monitor mixes really quick on a stage in a festival. Let's say I have 20 minutes to do a sound check and do 4 in-air mixes. If I know my let's say my monitor are 1 through 16 and 17 through 44 through 24 are my in-ear, I can maybe change that. And maybe if I'm running, if I want to set up really quick 4 stereo mixes, but I could see a use for that, because I want to know what the output is. I want to know the output connected to that is the input of something else. I think haters gonna hate or haters gonna like this, but I think a little bit like MXU said, the patch system need to be reworked on the wing. It's not intuitive for somebody who don't have deep knowledge of mixing. I think it could be easier. I give them my idea. I've read a post on the private group, not on Facebook, somewhere else. I have a way to talk to the people over at Music Tribe, but if they mostly listen. But if I'm the only one with that idea and everybody else like the patch the way it is, maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. From Tom's, mostly you connect the bus to an output, not always. You could connect send directly to the output without a bus. Yeah, that's right. I love the mixer. Otherwise, that's literally the one thing I can criticize. Yeah, me too. Still in progress. Need an update from Ivan. Yeah, it's the thing now with everything. It's not only this mixer, it's everything. It's every new OS, operating system upgrade on your computer or anything. They release something that is almost in beta. It's ready. It's not gonna crash, but it's really not up to date. They release it. You pay for it, and slowly they perfect it. Because now we have the option to do update. I was talking with a friend about that. Remember those old Nintendo game or those old Game Boy game? I was playing Pokemon Red when I was a kid, and the game has bug, but mostly the game, when they release it, was on its final stage. People find out bug, if you're standing on that tile and you do that action, it will create a crash of the game, or it will open a hole somewhere that you're not. It will open a hole in the wall somewhere you're not supposed to go. But those were final product. Now you get, I don't want to say a half-done product, because that's not true. The wing is fully functional as we speak, but improvement can be had on this. I want to say that in a positive way. I think the console is great. It's working. It's workable. I've done show with it, and I can do more, and I could go with this and just be happy. But the thing is, when the wing got first released with version 1.1, it was still under development. It's still under development. Now at 1.11, we got something that's, it's really well packed together. The only thing that I would change again is the patch. I think it's just not there yet. I think, the IDs are good. The flexibility is incredible. You just need to bring it, You need to make it easy with the possibility to dive deeper. But at first, if you just don't know what you're doing, you volunteer in a church, you need to be able to patch this console or you should be able to patch this console with a 3-minute video and do a show. I think That will be the goal. After that, if you want to go into expert mode and do weird patch, split, and direct out and stuff that you control the gain but just go straight to something else, that could be an option. But yeah, that could be an option, but first you need to have a layer, I think, of easy mode stuff. Still in progress, need more update and possibilities. Oh yeah, I read that, sorry. I'm talking too much. Yeah, that's the only bad thing I have to say about the Wing. I'm sorry. Music group have the X32 and Pros. Now new console are Wing and Heritage. Yes, that's true. And every new team needs some time to be better. Yeah, it's true. The Pro 2, I was not around the first version of the Pro 2, but I'm pretty sure it was not where it's at today. I'm still really happy with the Pro 2, by the way. So a lot of people see this board as it's outdated, but man, outdated board today are like the Yamaha 01V, where you don't want to see it again. Like maybe M7CL and LS9 are slowly falling into that, but give me a Pro 2 every day. I would be happy with it. Of course, I think I prefer the Wing. Personal opinion. I think the flexibility of the Wing is a better option, but give me any Pro Series mixer and I will be the happiest guy on earth with my lovely DL preamp. I love those boxes, yeah. I love those preamp. You guys have no idea. Okay. From Herman, question. Yesterday I was using the drummer gate on the kick, and sometimes I was hearing a nasty click sound. Anybody experienced that? Can I ask you? We're gonna try it out, or we gotta check it out. I think. Do I have a gate? I don't even have a gate on this bass drum. I don't want dynamic EQ. I want drummer gate. And we're gonna listen to this. Sometimes gate give you a hard time when they are too close of opening and closing. So I never put the console in freaking console view. Sorry guys. So I took out the drummer gate here and I'm trying to play around with the threshold. Now it's not opening. Now it's opening. Sometimes when you are on the edge with the threshold, it will not open and try to open and close at the same time, you know, like, struggling, and can give you weird stuff. I can simulate it with the Wing. When you have the attack and release too fast. Just gonna have my bass drum going. Okay, now I'm exaggerating it. There's no way you're gonna set a gate like that in real life. But can you hear it? It's just like all the time. Sometimes when your threshold is too close, it's doing that. That's more like a gate. But I don't understand why I kind of lost everything on this thing. It's like I've lost a bit of my show file. And the output of that is not that loud. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe you were too close, threshold wire, or you were just clipping. Let me bring that back down. Okay, from Tom's. I'm not a pro, but find it super easy and super easy to get started and feel confident working on my way around in minutes. Yeah, there's no deep menu. Oh, well, actually, there are deep menus in the console. When you select the channel, if you go here in setting, or maybe not that, but there are some stuff that you can dig in, but it's, you know, for some people it's complicated to run a microwave. Probably less and less nowadays, but I mean, let's face it, I'm gonna go with the average age of my clients. My YouTube stats here were all people in or 30s and up who watch this channel. Remember your parents the first time they went to the ATM. It was a nightmare. They're not used to menu and pages, and it's confusing for them. So, you know, my mother is not doesn't have any problem going to the ATM, but my grandmother, oh, this is an adventure. It's a trip to go get money. So, you know, every people has a different layer of ease with electronic and software and menu. It's just, I mean, I grew up in a house where we had a computer, so I know from day one what a menu is, and you open a window and it's popped something up. But it's not everybody who get that. So depending on the level that you are, maybe Tom, you're really good with software and computer, and you get that easily. Some people, actually, this is a critique that I have, that my channel is not going deep down enough on the wing, but still, almost every week I got contact by people, or I'm getting contact by people who ask me how to patch their console, how to patch virtual sound check for their computer, how to set up, you know, how to set up the wing with Cubase, Reaper, Logic. Every week I get those messages. So at that point I'm like, okay, if you don't know how to patch the console, I can explain you some really weird stuff that you can do with that thing. But honestly, is there a market for it? Or maybe the regular who are here in the live stream, you guys are a really higher level than most of these guys. Most of you. If you wanna, if the hat fits you, wear it. But I don't know. This is why I'm always so much on the edge with the kind of content that I could do with this thing. So, I don't know, man. Next question. I could hear it when the feather was higher than +5. Maybe the signal was too hot. It sounds... Yeah, check your threshold, attack and release. Also, if you have filter, here we go. You want to go something deep? We're gonna go deep on this one. Maybe I'm gonna show you something, Tom. For your gate, if you want to have option, you can get your key from somewhere else. So let's say, I think Tom, you were speaking about synth stuff. If you want to do side chain and have your bass drum side chaining your compressor or gate, you can select different side chain here with the key. And also on the filter, you can have frequency, or that will trigger your key filter faster. So let's say your bass drum, when it's on, you can set the frequencies that your gate will open at. So let's say you don't want rumble to open your gate, you just change, you just change the cue for something else. But now, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it into bandpass. That way, only the high frequencies of my bass drum will make the gate open. Everything else in the low end, every rumble will not affect the gate, because the the trigger for the gate is only listening at that small peak here, that small frequency, or I can open it back up and have something that will open easier, but it's not going to listen that much at the low end. So that's really deep stuff. I didn't know that before I got there. Somebody showed me that when I was exploring the console, and I did, every compressor on every input in my virtual sound check. Well, I spent like 20 hours on live stream with that. Anyway. How did you get the filter gate open? What do you mean? Okay, well, hold on. I'm going to try to do this. Now I got my bass drum going. Gotta put some sound there. Now I got the bass drum going. The gate is set to be really small. Here are your options. The bandpass, the Q is not going to change anything, but other than bandpass, the Q is not going to change anything. You guys probably can't hear that. You can key solo. I'm hearing it in my headphone. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah, that's an option. You can put it to flat, or no, sorry, flat. Flat is just not gonna matter. So you have that on your compressor. You also that on your gate, and here you have a crossover mode, so you can apply all kind of processing for your filter, for your key filter. So yeah, if you want option, you can go deep with that thing. And you can also, you can set the key filter by for the input or something else. So yeah. Have you tried the Helenite SQ series, the Helenite SQ? No, we got one where I worked, but since I'm owning a wing and I usually go out with the Pro 2 when I can, I never go out with, is it the SD11 or the SQ7 I think we have at the shop. But no, never tried it. I know, well, it's not true. I've put my hand on it once because I've used it as a monitor split one time, and the band was running the monitor. One of the guys in the band said, I'm used to do the monitor. We got our own console. We're just going to deal with front of house, do front of house, and we're going to deal our own monitor, which is a really cool thing to do when you're a sound guy. You can just deal with your own stuff, and we had a physical split snake, so I was totally independent. Did my stuff. Everybody was happy. So I did help them a little bit because I bring my lovely Bayer dynamic mic, and we had to change some gain, and the guy was like, hold on, it's clipping and that need phantom power. And I said, I'm fine up front. I'm going to be fine up front. I'm just going to start you up on stage and play around with your level. So I've played a little bit with it, but didn't hear much of it. Sorry. A friend of mine who's working as a live sound engineer thinks the SQ is so much better than this wing, and even having less feature. Okay. I mean, yeah, a friend of mine too. Well, actually, the guy, the main guy at the shop, who is the shop guy, the one who's taking care of preparing all the kits and XLR and stuff like that, prefer the SQ over the Pro 2 because I don't want to say he's an old guy, but he doesn't know much about Midas. He can use it, but he preferred the ease of use of the SQ. So, does it sound better? I don't know. Guy behind it is a bigger factor at that point. Because let's face it, all those consoles sounds good. None of them are bad. Oh, Tom's was about to get one, but you get the wing instead. Good. From Herman, congratulations on reaching 400 subs. Thank you very much. I'm back at it. Oh, man. Sorry, I don't want to fall in the loophole again of saying that, oh, I had 600, then I lost my channel and all my videos. But yeah, that's true. For some of you who don't know, I had 600 subs, and I destroyed my channel by accident and lost all my video and stuff. So, building back up again. I don't see it as an overnight thing. I don't want to be viral, because viral stuff just go up and down and die. Maybe I'm gonna have this channel in 20 years. Who knows? And I will look back at myself when I was younger, when I was 34, and I would say, "Oh, I look so good." What else? Another fun thing is to run same input. Say you did 3 or more channels and set different gates on each. Okay, why would you do that, Tom? I'm curious. I never done that before. Well, okay. May I ask you guys about the SQ? What was the reason you tend to go that way, and why did you choose the wing instead? I think, well, if it was me, SQ would never be an option because I bought a DL251, and this is like, a $5,000 patch box of 48 preamp, which is way fine for whatever I do. So having spent that much on stage box, and I'm running that with a core, an X32 core for my in-ear, I need something that will hook to that. There is no way I'm gonna change. Like, something will have to be really big and way better and give me way more option before I change out 10 grand of gears of my wing, my X32 core, and my stage box. Before I change that out, I would need like really more feature than that. And the wing versus the X32 is a no-brainer, or the M32 is a no-brainer. I have way more option. I knew from the day that Behringer announced a new console, I knew it would be way better and have more feature. And this is what I was into. It's not like I'm starting from scratch, This is why I can choose that. Another question: what is the analog 0 dBu on the wing? I haven't said it. It's -18, which can be a debatable point. I would need to check out the spec, but I think there's an extra 6 dB of headroom on the preamp. I think they measured the amount of dB with a different dB volt thing, so that will false the result. That will false the result of sending out a signal into a preamp, because your dB voltage is the unit that it's measured. So -18, I would say by rule, maybe -12 on the console, just because it used a Midas preamp and just because they give you more headroom than what they really are. So this is why you can clip the Midas pre without being too worried about it. From Tom's, run one input on 3 channel, but use EQ filter to make one channel low, one channel. Oh yeah, I get why you want to do that, but Can't you do the same thing with an EQ? You know, with shelf EQ, would that result in the same thing, or maybe it's another way to do that? Because I need to do a video about that, and I want you guys' opinion on this. I've been thinking about that. I think it's way too far for most of you, not most of you guys, but most of the people who watch my channel. But I was thinking late at night because, you know, I'm not going to surprise anyone by saying that I can't sleep because I'm thinking too much. But I realized something that you can do with the wing and you cannot do with anything else. And I actually never try it on a console, but let's try this together. If you send out, I'm gonna try I'm gonna put the console into send fader here, and I'm just gonna take everything and send everything into my 3 main, and I'm gonna try to speak in the microphone. I'm just gonna send everything to main 1, 2, and 3. That way, I got the exact same copy of my mix 3 times. I just want to make sure that I got that right. It's weird because I'm doing a send fader in my main. It's really weird. Actually, I can show you guys what it's doing. I can, like right now, I'm on. I can't do it. Okay, can I do main 3 and select this one? No. Anyway, this is basically like if you were to send to 0 dB or. Anyway, I'm degrading here. Doing send fader, I got 3 exact same copy of my main mix. Now, the thing that I thought is because you cannot sometimes have access to a PA crossover, and sometimes you would like to use something like a D6 on your main out, you know, the Wave D6, which is a multi-band compression and EQ. You can fake that if you're using 3 or 2 speaker manager on 2 main out that you sum together into a matrix out. Follow along here. I'm gonna try. First, I need to change 2 things. I need to change the stuff that we are listening to a matrix. Sound's probably gonna cut out. Just follow along. Matrix 1. We'll go for Matrix 1. I'll be back, guys. Okay, now, can you guys hear me? Yes, but I got no mastering chain on my bus. And I got speaker manager, I don't want that. G-bus compressor. And I'm gonna insert my limiter, which is way too loud, is it? Yeah, because I'm sending everything 3 times. So minus 9 dB, minus 9 dB. Here we go. Okay. So everything is good now. Okay. So I want to explain what I did here. I'm taking my main mix and musical fader here send the same thing to the 3 main out. Now I've grouped back those main out into 1 matrices. This is what you guys hear. Now what I'm gonna do is, as the last input here, I'm gonna use my 3 speaker. I'm gonna use my 3 speakers manager. And okay, the first one will be for my sub. I'm gonna try this. Maybe it's gonna sound weird, but hold on. Stick with me. I'm gonna go with average frequency here, 120 for my sub. So my main one would be like a sub feed. If I was to use the wing as a processor for my speaker, let's say we're gonna build a 3-way. Yes, Tom, you got it right. But I'm gonna explain this for everybody else. Okay, I'm gonna build a main one for my sub. Main 2 will be for my mid-range, and main 3 will be for my higher frequencies. Let's build that, and I'll get back. Okay, just give me a sec. I don't hear the same thing as you guys. I'll need to change that. Matrix 1. Okay, now I'm hearing everything. I hear some weird stuff. Maybe it sounds weird for you too. Just want to make sure that I'm sending my microphone to everything there, and want to make sure that I don't have any phase cancellation. Can I change the mid-range? Can I change the mid-range? Yeah. Okay. This is a complex routing, so follow along with me, please. And I need to make sure that I don't have anything, any EQ or anything yet on my buses. So, okay, hold on. And is there a limiter? I want my limiter to be here instead. Yes, 1 2 2 2 2 2. Yeah, 1 2 2 2. Yeah. Hey. Okay, so okay, this one. This is where it's not going correctly. Hey. 1 2 2 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to live with that. I don't know. To me, it sounds weird in my ear. I feel like there's a phasing issue. But please let me know. Let's go back to the speaker management thing. Maybe there's one. Yeah, there's some limiter going. Okay, that's why. Okay, now it sounds better because I don't have any hard limiter on my stuff. Let's make sure there's no EQ. EQ off. EQ off. Okay. back to filter. Okay, now what I created is a speaker. I basically created a crossover, like a multi-band mastering slash compressor processor. But what I can do with that is, well, I can control the PA how I want now. Because if I know the crossover point into a PA, this is what I would set up. I would control the individual component of the PA, even if I don't have access to them. I can know what I'm sending to those components and how they will reproduce what I got. So if I'm turning down my master, hey, now I got no mid. Okay, why? I gotta mute. Something is muting where it should not. But anyway, this is not the point. I'm just gonna say, if I want to mute some part of the signal, I can. Now I muted the high frequencies. Now I'm muting the mid-range. All the mid-range was gone. And I only have subs. Now I'm opening back up everything. If I know the frequencies of my PA, I can now decide the volume that I'm sending out my stuff. So if I want to have more bottom end, or if I want to have less mid-range or more mid-range and less high frequencies because that place is really harsh, I can use my 3 main out and play around, and basically play around my speaker manager like if I was sending out stuff into the crossover. Look, I'm basically playing into the crossover, even if you don't want to give me access to it. Because let's face it, I've been in a situation where my local PA tech was not in a good mood that day, or was like, didn't want to open me the system crossover because I think there was a problem and there was no way he wanted to open that, or simply didn't have the password, or just didn't know how to do it. So, as a plan B, you could do this and have your own, well, you can play around and fix some stuff if you think there is a problem. I mean, if your subwoofer are out of phase, sometime, I mean, I've been to show where my sub were out of phase with the higher frequency drivers. If you cannot fix it into the crossover and have everything back in phase, I would try to flip it here. At least I got, the polarity. I don't know how it would sound. Yeah, it doesn't sound that good here because I don't need to have, or I don't have that out of phase. But if my PA was sounding like that and I get a lot of mid-range and I just flip the phase, let's say it was out of phase and I just bring it back, it would sound way better. So it's all about playing around with stuff that you cannot usually do. Let's say that I want to, well, I'm going to do it with the mid-range, but let's say if I wanted to delay my sub because I believe the sub are not in phase or in time with my higher speakers, or if I want to delay something else, I could just come here and delay. You hear that weird phasing going on. It's almost like a feedback. It's because I'm adding a delay, and I can have more delay if I want to, and you could create some weird stuff going on there. But it could be, if this is your problem into a room and you can't fix it at the source, at least you can fix it on your mix. This is the kind of stuff that I want to go over, but I feel that this is way out of this world for so many people. They don't even understand why. I mean, so let's face it. I have met touring guy that just show up because the artists trust them. They are behind the board, that they do the best they can with whatever you provide them. They don't go in deep into stuff, and they keep their job. Just let me read some question. I'm sure you guys had some really interesting stuff to say. What I was trying to my stuff here. You made your own. Yeah, this is what I did. I made my own multi-band compressor. Your has a feature like the TC finalizer set up across. Mastering is not a good idea live. You don't want. I'm gonna go with the live guy approach here. I don't want that. I don't want the option because it will result in bad feedback and bad sounding mix into live speaker. And keep in mind, this is a live console that can do studio work. It can be as good in both, but the main idea behind this console was to fill a live spot. This is cool. How do you have maybe for another video could do the same using 3 buses for mastering, then route one of them to one master. Well, doing it through a matrix or a master doesn't change anything, Tom. Then well, you could do. Yeah, then for one master. Okay, yeah. That way you could have master and master output. Oh, well. I don't know. Yeah, it's an option. It's an option. It's true, and it could work. Like Evan said, yeah, what matrices will result into the same thing. Tom, you didn't use any matrices. Yeah, probably because you don't need to split your main that much. Actually, I can do that probably easier with matrices when I'm thinking about it, because I could send my main out or all my channel into main 4, let's say, and just not put anything on it, and that will be my uncompressed, EQ'd main out, and that's gonna work. Did you duplicate the first main to the other mains? What did I miss? Sorry. I know. Okay, Rolf. I'm just sending all my inputs into 3 main, and each of these main out as different EQ curve or speaker manager curve on it, and I just bring them back again into one matrices. I think that was never even possible to do that on any other console before, because you needed multiple master to do that, or multiple path to a single matrices or group. Maybe you could have done it with bus, like Tom said. Hi, Pancho. The option here, what I'm doing right now. I'm sorry, hold on. I misread Ralph. Okay, yeah, okay. Can you please go over that slowly? Okay, I will. Give me a second. Just want to read Pancho. Are you using the matrix out 1, 2, 3 to feed the main crossover? What I'm doing right now is I'm using the main out, and I'm not sending them anywhere. I'm just sending them to one matrices. So just see it as a pyramid. I have all my channel in the bottom that feed the next layer, which is all my main 1, 2, and 3, and I'm sending those 3 main into one matrices, and that will be my left right. If I needed to feed multiple speaker, I could do it this way. I could, let's say, send my main 1 to my subs, my main 2 to my mid-range speaker, and 3 to my higher range 1. That would work also, but if you don't have access to that, this is more of a situation of a lifesaver when you don't have access to the crossover, or there's just no crossover to be accessed, or it's locked and you see a problem with speakers. Not really, this is not a mix fixer. Please don't do that to fix your mix. This is to fix the PA, because your mix on your console should be right, should be the thing that you want to have, and your PA should be there to reproduce that. It's a really different thinking from what we see with studios. You know, with studios, you try to make your band fit the best into the speaker. Right now, my approach, the PA I'm tweaking the PA until it gives me what it should. So I'm fixing problem, let's say, subs placement, phase issue with the PA, or latency or level differences. I can turn down the mid and the higher frequencies if I want to. Now I just shut the high frequencies at all, so I'm not sending anything over 2K. And now if I put it back, you know, it's there to fix what you don't have access to. It's really like if I was going through a processor and sending that, like if you were in the room listening to a PA right now. Because sending my 3 out to 3 different sources with a specific range and putting it back together is the same thing as a 3-way speaker would react. So, are you using the Matrix? No, okay, I read that, sorry. Most of the video I see are focusing on live work, like church, which is great. I bought it as a studio mixer, and I think it's a great choice for that too. Yeah, it will be great as a studio mixer, especially with the user signal thing. You can process your stuff before going into the box, and that's the way to go, I think. If you can fix it at the source, you don't have to fix it after. That's good. You could do it with the X32 and the master and have separate mix. Yeah, you could do that. Well, I think the mono was more like a sub on aux thing on the X32. I think that was more the thought process there. In my case, I'm using the master as different feed, like PA, live stream, stereo recording, and spare. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the multiple main was designed for that purpose in mind. So you can have, the same mix and mix your stuff on the console, and it would affect. But you would set up your mix for the room. After that, you can use main 2 and do a mix for the live stream with different volume. And what you will mix, physically on the fader will affect both the room and the live feed or whatever. And it will make sense, in both scenario. Or instead of using matrices, I just want to send. Okay, a real life scenario here in festival when most festival when I'm asking for front fill, I'm never putting drum into them if possible. So using a matrices would work, but I would really prefer something like that where I can just create a second master with really loud vocal for front fill, no drums, guitar and bass, and pan that out to maybe different. So I want to have more extreme pan or less extreme pan depending on the width of those speakers. If those speakers are 20 meters apart from each other, I'm pretty sure that the person standing there cannot hear the box over there. So I want to give him a full mix, or at least a fuller mix than what he would hear. And sometimes I like to swap in my front field the left and right, because you have the PA left and you probably not hearing the PA right. So if I give you that information on your front field, you will have a more coherent show. Main 1, 2, and 3, and main 1, 2, and 3. I'll go the the same matrix so that the matrix is the main out. Yeah, exactly. The matrix is the main out here. Doing so, you will mess with the phase response. Filter on the wing and then actual crossover. That won't sound good. True and not true. If I will go with a real life example here, Erman. I don't know what the situation is for you guys in Europe, because I know most of you guys are in Europe. But here in North America, we still have really, really bad PA in festivals because we have space, and everybody who got a little bit of money can buy an old PA and rent it for way too cheap to festivals and to, small city festival. And they don't have a lot of money, so they go with the cheapest guy no matter what. So I've been in situation when I had homemade PA. I had really bad recone PA. And the funniest one, a guy who bought an acoustic PA that was stuck into a flood in New York. But he got the PA almost for free because he had to go get it. That means once the water went out of that basement in New York, if he was able to just take it out and take it away, it was him. So the guy bought I think it's an acoustic ARC PA. He got it for dirt cheap, but all the components were to be replaced because all the speakers spend weeks, in sewer water. So the guy cleaned the PA with basically a pressure washer hose, put new speaker in there, but because the acoustic components are expensive, he just ordered those speakers from China. So the guy rebuilt that PA to make sure nobody complained. He took the acoustic logo out of it, but and he just paint everything so it looked like it's PA, but it's basically an acoustics wood box with a driver in there. And he probably did that in his own garage, and some of his box were out of phase. Or in other situation, I know a guy who was using old old GBL component, built his own PA, and the old GBL, the mid-range was out of phase. I don't know why. It's a design that they did back in the 70s or 80s. I don't know. I think it's because they were thinking that having the mid-range firing backward before pushing was giving them better result. And anyway, those boxes are out of phase with everything else. If you ever have GBL subs with a different kit, sometimes if people mix out kits, sometimes you will have out of phase speaker. Even if you plug the positive to the positive, the negative to the negative, inside the speaker is wired backward. So I end up most of the time in festival of a couple thousand people, and my subs are out of phase, or my mid-range is out of phase because the guys bring Mayer sub with JBL old speaker, and he recones some of them. Some of them are not out of phase. So sometimes I end up with my right drivers on the PA being out of phase of the left one. And the guy doesn't have a crossover because everything is passive, and he doesn't want to let that sound guy dude just playing around with his crossover. And so we're just gonna put the front of house a little bit on the left, so that way you think that the right side is weird, but you don't care about it because you got time is running out. You got a show to do. So I spend most of my time, honestly, during the opening act, walking around the venues and fixing stuff. Like when I have a good PA tech with me, a guy that is open to try stuff, I just go with the guy and say, "Oh, I think your mid range here is out of phase. Can you try to flip the phase in your crossover system?" And most of the guys listen to me because I seem like I know what I'm doing, and some of them are impressed by me, a sound guy dropping out with a band. So they listen to me. Sometimes they flip the phase and they go like, "Wow, the whole kit, the whole PA just feel bigger, just feel louder because we're not losing energy in the out of phase thing." When that happens, it's good. When that doesn't happen, when my PA tech or my system tech is not happy, having a good day, he's on a hangover, because let's face it, that happens all the time. Sometimes he doesn't want to cooperate with me, or is just not there, or he's at the bar already. If I don't have the option to fix that, I have to live with it. Because sometimes you don't have the option. This, what I just did here, give me another option to... It give me another layer of knobs to fix thing. So, if I have out of phase subs, and it sounds weird, I can just come here, flip the phase. Now it sounds weird, but I can come here, flip the phase, find the right frequencies for that sub, or found the right frequencies that I can make this work, and it gives me a better... It will give me a better result, because changing the phase on my input channel would not fix that. I tried to see the input and the main out as a different thing from the output in the PA. Because if I can nail my stuff on the console, if my console can sound really good, my mix is there, I got all the elements that I need, it will sound good in the monitor, it would sound good in the in-ear, and if my PA is right, everything will sound good if I just lift a fader. So I tried to have my stuff, my every single input, nailed down to what it should be. Should sound good in the monitor, in-ear, and PA. If the problem is the PA that cannot reproduce what I'm doing, I'm going to fix the PA and I'm not going to try to fix the input. So that's a way, that's one way, that's a plan B that I discovered that I could use to fix the PA. Sorry, I missed the chat here. Okay, no, sorry. I thought you guys said something about that. Sorry, I went on a rant. I kind of went on a rant here. Yeah. So basically, this is what I do. I just find out a new option for me to play around with my stuff, and sometimes you can play around with your crossover point when you have, let's say you have active speaker, and your subs are cut. The crossover knob on the sub is cutting your sub to 120, but the crossover knob on your higher speaker are cutting to 100. You're gonna end up with a big boost between 100 and 120 because both sub and the higher frequencies are delivering it. So you can play around with that and just say, oh, I don't want my sub to be over 120, and I could, or let's say over 100, so I can just come here and lower that to 100, and I create, I think you hear, I'm gonna exaggerate it. I created a hole between 177 and 100 there. There was just nothing because I separate the crossover point and I'm creating a gap. But sometimes in your room, if you have too much of that, you can fix it. Well, I would just EQ it first, but it's another way to fix thing. Probably some system techs who's gonna watch this is gonna hate my gut. But I mean, I'm gonna say it that way. If you are a system tech, if you are a PA tech and watch this, you probably have your stuff together and you will run a PA out of phase. So I will never have to do this on you. Back to that background music. I cannot listen to that song again. I've listened the same loop for 50 hours now. It's gonna make me crazy. Okay. We've been going at this for like 2 hours straight, didn't we? Yeah, almost. Okay, Ivan, sure. I want to hear what you have to say. You're also a system tech in a company. I've been doing system tech. I know how to set up the PA at the company that I work for. So one of them is Eastern the 730. So kind of easy. It's a 4-way kit. We have the option of rigged 12 inches subs with the SB 1000 there. Not using that much, but okay. I want to okay, Ivan. I want to have your opinion on that. Take some time to write it down. I'm gonna take off everything that I did here because I don't want to leave that on. I don't need it, you know. So give me a second while I'm just taking all that stuff out. And I need to put my limiter back on. Limiter is back on. Bus is back on. Limiter is back on. And we go. Back in business. -9. This is where it kicks in. There we go. So now, hold on. You guys still listening to that matrices? Okay. No, we're back to main one. Any PA recommendation to work together with the wing? Something for 500 people is a very reverberant room with high ceiling. Has to be budget friendly like the wing. Budget friendly PA, I like RCF. And I know you're not gonna like the answer that I'm gonna say, but if you have a really reverberant room, I would go line array. Not for the coupling of boxes, but to have. I'm lucky enough. I tried that. You want to have as less as possible energy. You don't want to send any energy into the ceiling or into the walls. So if you have a box, like if you have a regular speaker that's opening up 90 degrees by 75 degrees, you send a lot of energy to a lot of places. But if you have a line array box, could also be how do you call those? JBL. It's been so long since I've worked. I'm forgetting names of PA. I don't have the name right now, but it's one of those GBLs PA that you cannot stack more than 4 boxes together. I don't have SLX in my head, but that's so far from it. VRX. The VRX. JBL VRX could be an option. RCF, DL, 20, 30, 50, depending on your budget. I have employee account JBL. VRX, put 1 or 2 of these box, get the brackets, and set. I don't know what the space that you have, but hold on. Dispersion of sound with line array or bigger quantity of small boxes. Oh, well, maybe Ivan, we can debate on that. I'm really up to that. My idea, or what I did try and was working, is to use a single line array box or 2 box. You don't want to have I mean, you just basically what I'm doing is sending sound where the people's head is at. So I'm using like a single box, a single. I was doing it RCF HDL20. One or two of these box flat. That way, I just cover around 10 to 15 degree of. I'm just covering 10 or 20, maximum 20 degrees of horizontal coverage. And I think those boxes are 110 degrees wide. And I was turning the box inside until the high frequencies were reaching the stage. So that way I was sending out all my energy around head level with two boxes. And that was really powerful speakers. I was sending all my energy there. Nothing in the room, nothing in the roof, nothing on the floor. And people were acting as sound absorption as they were going through. I was going just a little over, the top of the first box was little over 2 meter or depending on if people are standing or sitting. If people are sitting, I would say take a tall guy, go just over a little over his head. Try to have your first box set up there and shooting your 10-degree angle downward, or have two boxes and have the middle of these two boxes at really ear level. Have that way you're gonna have like all your power will be used where people can hear it. You're not gonna send anything or less as possible in the walls, in the roof, or reflecting on the floor. This is your best bet. That way you just send it. Think about it like if you were using a flashlight. You want it where you're going to see something. If you put a flashlight to there and you're watching over there, you're not going to see much. So this is my thinking. I'm not a PA tech. I didn't study to be a PA tech, but this is what I'm doing. Or this is what I'm trying to do in most situation. Bring just out. Sometimes it's just two RCF HDL20. Put the boxes where the people are in the bar where it's really crowded. I try to put the box, like the front of the box, straight and have my 10 degrees of opening on each side, not shooting the roof too much, not shooting the floor too much, and coupled that with a pair of subs, and I'm getting good result so far. No reverb, or less reverb than just speaker that you put on a stick, double open a lot. But maybe Ivan has a different approach. Maybe if you are PA Tech experience. Fail, learn, do it better next time. Sorry, Herman, you said we have two systems installed. One old and another really old. Yeah, the really old is a discontinued. Is the Discern one with 8 speaker per side every 3 meter or so? What? Are you talking about like those single full range speaker like in a church that you would have at every other row? They are the same signal, no delay. Okay, yeah, totally get that. No. And then the whole one is 215 boxes with 218 subs, all running from the same amp, no crossover. Well, the crossover is probably in the box. HDL6. Yeah, HDL6, I saw those boxes. Are those, I think those are RDNet. The one that we have here, the HDL20, are not RDNet yet. But Herman, oh man. Honestly, if you're having a reverb problem in your room, try to kill the small, older system. Because that's probably the one who's creating a lot of that reverb and a lot of that phasing issue. Because it will be fine by itself. If you just fire everything from the side, it would pretty much, except in the middle where they meet, which usually is an aisle in the middle, It will be fine. I've done it in corporate event where I didn't have, back in the day where we didn't have any digital console. Instead of doing, a lot of speaker on the front, I just like put everything on the side and firing up at the same time. And because you were hearing pretty much all the box at the same time, you had no bouncing delay. It was not like coming from the front then being delay because it was coming from the side. But okay, well, you don't use the really old one. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of, if you have budget, which you probably don't, something like the HDL 6 on the wall, if you put it on, I think you can put those boxes on the side. If you can have a lot of small boxes that are delayed from one to another, that will work. Depending on how big is your room, I would say. Because the bigger your room and the more coverage you have to do, the more the delay matters. You need to create a line of time of air moving, and if possible, you need something to kill that wave. Imagine you're dropping something into the water. Imagine you drop a rock in the water. It will create a wave. Having speaker at the front of a room, or just you speaking in front of the room, when you speak, you create a wave. But imagine that in a 360 manner. When you speak, you have your voice, you're pointing your speaker, your internal speaker, your vocal cord to something. That creates a wave in time, in air, because air kind of move like water in that sense. If you launch a lot of rocks together in the water, it will just do like whatever mishmash of blurriness in the water. But if you just send one and you send another one, just say you drop rock from the same spot at the same time, everything will flow equally and they will not phase out with each other. It's kinda the idea behind this. If you're doing this, if you delayed your speaker, you kind of recreate the same thing here. So, 16 meter width, 30 meters long, and 12 meter high. Sorry, I'm so used to deal with feet. I try to convert roughly. So, okay, 30 meter is around 100 feet. So you got a good decently sized room. It's the ceiling that's probably is killing you. So I would say try to avoid sending any kind of energy in that bouncing of frequencies, room, roof. And I'm gonna guess this is a church, so it's not like it's an angle. It's not straight. That would make it worse because sound just bounce back and forth on it. Yeah, I think I don't change my mind. Maybe Ivan have a different opinion on that, but sidewalls are all glass. Yeah, glass is really good at reflecting high frequencies. So what I just said about dropping a rock in the water, imagine that energy is not getting lost anywhere, just bounce back once it reached those glasses. So, okay, well, yeah, if it was me, and if I was bringing a PA in that church, I would bring, because you need power to reach the end. The point source. Yeah, I would. I haven't said you would bring point source box like the DBQ7 in vertical orientation with smaller T10 for delay to kill the reverb. I think it's out of the budget here because you could. I mean, the best solution would be the small Sennheiser speaker that they made, I think, for Celine Dion at the Caesars Palace in Vegas. Every bench of a seat have a small speaker. That will be the best solution, but that would be so much cost to have all those speakers installed in the bench of the people in front of you and have that time align. But that will be the best result. I mean, you will have a speaker pointing straight at your face. Nothing could beat that. But money-wise, I don't think that's doable. That setup's for a church, okay, I guess, if they have the money. But for me, I would try 2-line array box per side, playing with the angle to have to focusing your energy and just try to not point them at the wall. And have the horn on the inside. That way you will not send higher frequencies to the wall. That will be my way to do it. Like I'm speaking temporary setup, not permanent setup. Permanent setup, I mean, it's kind of on a budget, yeah. But yeah, with the tool that I have, where I work, I would take two HDL20 per side and put them just high enough. Not shooting at the ceiling, not shooting at the wall, and pray. It's a church pray. Yeah, don't rock out in church with glass windows. That was last bigger with enough budget for sound. Yeah, budget. It's all about budget, you know. The big problem is that the room was built 100 years ago for big pipe organ and choice here. Yeah. RCF is a good company. They make great affordable. They are really a company that make great affordable stuff. You know, I would not recommend them if I have no budget. But if I'm on a budget, yeah. Noob question. Someone can translate church for me. Yes, Ashil. Yeah. We're talking about church, but this is something that I discovered like a long time ago. Well, a couple of years ago. Not every church is a sad place like we have here in North America, or I'm gonna guess that you're French. No, not the same thing that we have. French, especially if you go in South America, it's people are getting together pretty much to party on Sunday morning instead of like feel bad like we do here. Elevation Church, I think it's the one that I think, yeah. Just Herman confirmed me, Elevation Church is like the arena kind of like setup where there's like a 20 people band on stage. But yeah, Ashil, this is something different from what we know. Not the same kind of church. Yes, we're talking about church, but so, a word for word translation from French to will be a celebration at church every Monday. So every Sunday, not Monday, every Sunday morning. But yeah, different level. No, don't feel stupid, man. It's a different culture. It's a different approach to what we know. A lot different. I've learned that with my friend from Chile. I had some friend from Chile who introduced me to that kind of show, and I was not expecting that at all. Like rock and roll or Christian rock probably is what you guys have, but this is what they do in the States now. This is what they do, well, in Germany too, I guess. Yeah, we're not used to that stuff here, not at all. It's slowly getting over. I did a setup for a really budget church. When I'm speaking of budget, I'm speaking of an X30, not an X32R. Oh yeah, well, an X32 rack or an XR18 was out of their thinking. They said, oh, it's like $1,000 for a mixer. Yeah, that's a lot. Do you have something for 100? We slowly convinced them that they need an X32 rack, so this is what we install in that church. But I mean, they don't have the money. Especially, I'll be honest, I don't want to get into that whole religious thing, but here church are dying. Basically, they get the not good looking one just gets sold, and bulldozer come in and they build condo instead at those places. So yeah, church is slowly dying, so no budget for church here. But I know elsewhere around the world, different story. Okay, I think this is it. I think we reach a point where I'm gonna call it a stream, because I don't want to call it a night or a day, because my day is not done yet, and I need to go back to my TrueNAS setup, because I need to do some video editing for you guys, and I need to do probably what I just did there. Actually, you guys didn't tell me. Am I stupid to do that? Can that thing be interesting, or this is like a one case scenario and nobody will be interested in learning that stuff? I feel like I don't know. Let me guys let me know what you think about that, because I think this is really heavy, and that will be heavy editing wise for me to do so. So please let me know. On this note, or this one, depending on. I like that groove. This is why I'm using it as a background music. So, anyhow, I'm gonna try to do it for real this time. I reload my show, and my user-defined key got lost. So now, I cannot send you out and press one button and being out. I need to reach out to the trackpad there and look stupid. But anyway, thank you everybody who've been here. Thank you everybody who's listening to this in replay. Appreciate that. A lot of you are doing it. Herman, thank you. Ivan, thank you very much. Talk about everything? Nah, we talk about live sound here. Actually, this is never gonna leave. But this is exactly what I used to do when I was touring with Ben. Make friend with the local crew, talk with the sound guy with the local sound guy about everything, arguing about some stuff, learning some stuff. And I try to never stop learning, personally, because I think when you stop learning, you die. I try to be up to date, or at least I will. Pancho, Ivan, Ashil, Herman, Rolf, who was there. Thank you very much, guys. If you didn't like that video, please give it a thumbs up. That with a plaster on it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I guess everybody who's watching this is subscribed to the channel. Thank you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, until next week or the next video, take care of yourself. I really mean that. Take care of yourself. I see you guys all later. And I have to bend over. Bye.